All right, Catherine Hawley just back after a very harrowing night out there at the Penn North neighborhood. You were there when the curfew went down and some folks didn't go home.
That is true. We were there right when it turned 10 o'clock, right at the intersection of Pennsylvania and North Avenues. And when 10 o'clock hit, nothing really happened. People were still in the streets. A lot of media were there, a lot of journalists, a lot of cameras, and the police line just stood there. And I don't even know when things changed, but at some point, people threw some water bottles at the police line. They got their shields up, guards ready, and they started pushing forward. And that's when the tone changed out there. It got a little bit more tense.
You could feel it.
Yes, you could definitely feel it. The journalists all kind of went to the sides. At this point, there was also a helicopter going around. Even though police had said that journalists and reporters were allowed to be out past the curfew, these helicopters were going around saying that the media should disperse the area. There was a curfew in effect, everyone should leave. But it didn't seem like a lot of the media was leaving, just kind of going to the side. And then they started shooting things. I thought at first that it was tear gas, and then I heard maybe it was smoke bombs. I know looking at the Baltimore Police Twitter feed now that they were called, what, pepper balls? Pepper balls, which we just looked it up, and it's just pepper spray in a ball
like
or canister form that they could spray out at the crowds. And people were running. We were at a truck trying to stay a little bit more close to the truck so we could have cover and just be protected because we didn't know what was going to be happening. The crowd kind of went through spurts of being calm and then throwing things, and you can see right then that canister got tossed and everyone ran, and that's our truck right there. And so we were basically right in the middle of that, standing outside of the truck when that canister hit. You can see that the cloud got very, very thick. A person just tossed it away at that point. But the cloud of smoke got very thick, and it burned.
I was going to say, what did it do to your eyes?
It hurt a lot. I didn't know what to do. I kind of just walked around the truck and stood there for a second trying to cover my face, cover my mouth, because it burned, made me cough a lot, it burned my lungs a lot, and I could just feel it in my eyes. And it was almost like when I opened my eyes, it hurt worse, you know, when the air touched my eyes after being in that smoke.
Did you put water on it or what?
People told me to, they're like, drop the microphone and walk, and so I did. I just walked away from the truck, and I was having a rough time coughing, and my eyes were just kind of tearing up a lot. And some very nice people stopped me and asked me if I was okay, and I said, you know, I'm okay.
A little startled, I'm sure.
Yeah, a little startled, a little taken aback. I had lost both of my photographers I was with. I had completely walked away and lost them. I couldn't really see that well. They gave me some water. Let me breathe through a gas mask for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if the water helped or hurted, but or hurt me more, but it felt good at the moment.
But don't these canisters, when they hit the ground, don't they like spin?
It moved.
Like they sparked, too.
It did. It hit the ground, and I don't know if it rolled or if it just, the force of whatever was coming out pushed it around. But it hit the ground, and we went under the live truck in front of ours, and then kind of came towards us and sat there spraying the gas out until that.
Were you disoriented at first?
A little bit, just because I didn't want to open my eyes much. And you couldn't really see, the smoke was very thick and you couldn't really see through it.
Yeah.
And so I walked away from it and just kind of kept going until I felt like I could kind of catch my breath, cough a little bit, and that's when the people came up and offered me the help.
And it looked like that did the trick, because I was watching, and at 9 o'clock, 9:30, they started making the announcements on the bullhorn. Time for the crowd to go home. It's time to go home. The curfew starts at 10. Then by 10:15, 10:20 is when they started with their projectiles, and it was immediate.
It was. Everyone left. Everyone dispersed at that point.
Good. Let me go. WebMD, what do you do for, let's say, go home.
Yeah,
that's
Dr. Costello.
That's the cure.
Or come to work and tell us about it.
Yes.
Right.
We're glad you're okay.
Yes. Good job out there.
Thank you.
Catherine Hawley.